Okay, and now we learn the hip slides.
So, for this, you can take your feet a little further apart and then you bend your knees slightly. You can bounce a little bit so you find your comfortable posture for your pelvis. And if you feel really good, we start. Then you try to shift your weight from right to left so you really feel a shift. You could really take the other leg apart, away from the floor, and then you take your hands again on your hip and you try to just slide the hip without moving the upper body, and you try the hip not to come up. If you now have a look on my spine now, it's very straight, and I want to have this movement. So my upper body stays exactly above the feet and the hip is sliding from side to side. The little secret here is that you have to get flexible in your spine, but you also have to find out which muscles are working, and you have to bend your right leg whenever you come right, and then when you go left, you bend your left leg. But you do it all at once. So now the left leg is a little bit more bent, and now I bend the right leg a little bit. So this is really exaggerated. It would look like this: down, 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 down. But then I try to fix it so it's really horizontal. And if you have problems with this, this is no problem at all. This is a very complicated thing, although it's called a basic, and it's very important for the future belly dance movements. You can always take your hands on your hip and try to direct it. You can go in slow motion and then try to adjust your legs. How do I get here? And if you find yourself here, just bend your leg and feel. This feels good. This feels parallel to the floor. You can always close your eyes and try to feel what you're doing. So you first feel what you're doing, and then you can do whatever you want. Without feeling, you will never get anything. You can't do anything. Okay. And now you can do some extra trick, because this will also engage your pelvic floor a little bit. I will tell you a lot about the pelvic floor in the future. It's very important for belly dancers and for living. So whenever you go right, you press your leg a little bit into the floor. This will engage a little bit from your right part of the pelvic floor. But the pelvic floor is a very complicated muscle with a lot of layers. I will tell you more about this later. So you focus on pushing, 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 push, push. Maybe you feel something is happening in your pelvis. And if you want, you can also take your feet a little bit apart. And then you leave them again. You can take your feet a little closer together. You can shift the weight on your toes and back on the heels, front and back. And then you take the feet hip width apart and try to speed it up a little bit. If you practice with this pushing, you will feel that this is really helping you. So it's push, 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 and you can go really fast. Okay, and now you exaggerate the movement. Go as far as possible. And then the upper body has to come as a counterpart to the other side. Okay, this was it.